Good afternoon, everyone. CountryFlyboy here, and this video is just going to be a short one. I'm not monetizing it or anything. It's just a short message. If there are any flight sim developers out there who are making add-on aircraft, I have a request. I want to show you something that gets really annoying with add-on airplanes. They model this for no thrilling reason. If there's no windshield rain effect on the airplane, there's no point to model the windshield wiper because it doesn't do anything. Now I'm saying this because there was a developer, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'll put it on the screen now, but his name is that. And he made an add-on, it was a mod for the default 737 that redid the cockpit and all, and gave it working windshield wipers, but it also gave it a windshield rain effect, so that when it was raining, you couldn't see out the windshield as good. And that gave the windshield wipers a purpose, because they actually made it easier to see outside the windshield when it was raining. Now I know that does take up an animation, and there's only so many animations you can have, and it could be frame rate intensive. Well, we're not asking for anything major. Even a simple effect like the guy did on the 737, the default one, it's nothing but a texture that clears up when the windshield wiper is on. Even something like that would be nice, even on the PMDG. And as far as, I know the excuse for PMDG was they wanted to, but they ran out of animations. PMDG, I think we need to have a talk about priority when it comes to animations, because there's some animations in this plane you don't really need. For example, these 3 dials here, I can change them. I can set my flight number to them like you could in real life. I don't know if anyone ever uses that. I do occasionally, but the only reason I do is because it's there, so I might as well. We can do without that. Let me get that out the way. Another thing we can do without, this over here. This is the flight deck door locking mechanism. That's how you unlock it, and that's how you lock it. Now, on something like the Captain Sim 757, that makes sense, because there's actually a virtual cabin back there, and you can physically open the door, and using that switch does actually lock it. But on this one, there's no virtual cabin back there. I mean, you can't open the door. So what the hell's this switch modeled for, other than just to be there? I mean, yeah, I know you want realism and all, but there comes a point when you're just being ridiculous. The tiller bar, yeah, it's a nice effect. But, oh, we can actually use the tiller bar on the PMDG. You can actually grab it and use it. But, it's a nice effect, yes, but there's no point to it, really, because we're all just going to use the rudder anyway. So, yeah, and I'm sure there's more that I could find in here that we can do without PMDG if you want to, in the future, put a windshield rain effect on there. Just please consider it, because I can tell you from experience with that default 737 mod, having a windshield rain effect adds so much to the simulation, especially when doing approaches in the rain, that when you don't have it, it's messed up. It's like I did with my A2A 182 add-on. It adds so much, you don't know what you're missing until you've experienced it, and once you lose it, because that's the only windshield rain effect I've ever seen in Flight Simulator outside of a handful of payware add-ons. Once you lose it, it's like you can't ever fly without it. The only reason I don't fly the default 737 anymore is because I had the PMDG, but the PMDG has failed in that regard because now the default 737 has something better than the PMDG. The default 737. Can you believe that shit? So yeah, in the future, add-on developers, please consider windshield raindrop effects, even if you have to cut some animations. Make sure they're animations we can do without, like the door locking or the flight number dials or anything like that. We don't necessarily need that. Yeah, they're nice to have, but we're not going to miss anything if they're gone. But we will appreciate a windshield rain effect, even a simple one that's just a texture overlay. So yeah, please consider that, FS add-on developers. Just a quick rant from CountryFlyboy. I'll shut up now.